Our story begins at a pawn shop. A man named Drake walks in, dressed entirely in black. He circles around the shop, carefully observing everything, then places an antique timepiece in front of the shopkeeper. But the shopkeeper says it's just an imitation. The watch is still ticking though, because it's actually a bomb. After the explosion, several masked men storm inside. Turns out this pawn shop is just a front. Behind the scenes, all kinds of illegal activity are taking place. There are parties going on, like it's some kind of underground club. Drake grabs the manager. The manager nervously tells him, "We moved it all to the headquarters this afternoon." But Drake doesn't believe him. He shoots him in both ears to make him tell the truth. The manager leads them to a secret room hidden behind a row of lockers. The room is packed with cash. Drake and his crew stuff all of it into their suitcases. Drake is about to kill everyone in the room, but one of his partners stops him, saying these people didn't see anything. So Drake puts his gun away and instead blows them all up with a grenade. They take the money to a meeting spot, where their real leader, Rhodes, tells everyone, lay low and don't meet each other. In a few days, we'll split the money like usual. Now, their pilot today is someone new. The previous pilot is no longer with them. But due to a thunderstorm, their plane catches fire mid-flight and crashes with all the money on board. 5 months later, one of those cash-filled suitcases floats up. Nearby lives a fish poacher named Harlan. He keeps a photo of his family with him. Harlan gathers his tools and heads out to a frozen lake. He's just starting to fish when he notices a human hand sticking out of the ice. Harlan breaks away the snow around it. It's the dead pilot, and right next to him is the suitcase. Harlan pulls it out. He breaks the locks and opens it. The case is filled with cash. Harlan is completely stunned. He can also see the wreckage of the plane below, submerged in the lake. Harlan takes the suitcase full of cash back to his tent. The scene shifts to the next day. A Native American game warden named Ani calls out to some tourists, telling them the lake is closed. The ice is less than 4 inches thick. One tourist arrogantly asks, "Who's gonna stop us?" The sheriff is standing right there, silent. He doesn't say anything to the tourists, but Ani clamps a wheel lock on their car. The sheriff tries to stop her, but Ani doesn't listen. Eventually, the sheriff has to calm the tourists down himself. Afterward, the sheriff tells Ani that a man named Jed has his truck stuck out in the middle of the lake. Ani heads in that direction. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to another member of the gang, a guy named Penn. He's left his criminal life behind and become a father now. But then Drake shows up at his door. He tells Penn that the tracker was tripped yesterday on the lake. That means their $20 million is down there, beneath the ice. They'll need diving equipment to get it out. Penn is a local, so they can use him as a guide. When they reach the lake, Penn tells them that in 10 hours, the ice will start melting. But their tracker is moving under the ice. It could be the current, or it could be another person. Back on the lake, Ani arrives to help Jed, whose truck is stuck in the ice. Just then, Harlan comes walking toward them. Jed tells Ani that Harlan lives off the land, searching for his wife. Ani starts questioning Harlan, asking if he has a fishing license. While checking his belongings, she finds the suitcase full of cash. She asks him, "What is this?" Harlan tells her he found it under the ice. But Ani doesn't believe him. She searches him further and then ties his hands. She calls the sheriff and tells him, "I found a poacher up here with a suitcase full of cash." And just then, Drake's team arrives. Drake says, "I think you got something of ours." He aims his gun at everyone. But when he sees there's only one suitcase, he asks, "Where's the rest?" Ani has no idea what he's talking about. To save Ani, Harlan attacks Drake. Taking advantage of the moment, Jed grabs his gun too. A gunfight breaks out between them. Serena shoots Jed. Ani jumps into her car and tries to escape, but her car is still tethered to Jed's truck. Harlan frees her vehicle. The two of them speed off together, but Serena jumps into the car with them. Harlan kicks her out of the moving car. But the suitcase falls through the ice into the water below. Meanwhile, Drake survived the gunfire thanks to his bulletproof vest. But their SUV's tire is punctured. On the other side, Ani asks Harlan, "What is all this?" Harlan tells her there's a plane under the ice. There's more money inside it. That's all Harlan knows. Ani starts thinking, I'm not supposed to be doing these kinds of things. She radios the sheriff and tells him, send help now. The sheriff replies, I'm on my way. But then Ani's car breaks down and stops right in the middle of the lake. At Harlan's request, Ani unties him. They each tie one end of a rope around themselves and start walking across the ice. But up ahead is gray ice, which will be even more dangerous to cross. Behind them, Drake's team reaches Ani's car. But their SUV gets stuck in the ice. The ice starts cracking, and the SUV begins to sink. They try to pull their partner Ellis out. At the last second, Ellis manages to escape both the car and the freezing water. Meanwhile, Harlan speaks to Ani in the Blackfoot language, which he learned from his wife. At the same time, another member of Drake's crew, a thief named Dax, arrives to help. He brought a snowmobile with him. Out on the lake, Ani and Harlan have reached extremely thin ice. Harlan says, let's run. The two of them sprint across the cracking ice and make it to shore. At Harlan's tent, Ani sees the photo of his family. Harlan has a bow and arrows. He also has several bear traps. Riding on his snowmobile, Dax spots the two of them from a distance. But before he can reach them, Harlan sets up the bear traps. Dax's snowmobile hits them head-on and flips over. Harlan shoots him with an arrow. He doesn't let Dax pick up his gun. The two get into hand-to-hand combat. Dax grabs Harlan by the throat, but Harlan pulls the arrow out of Dax's body and attacks him with it again. Because of the breaking ice, Harlan falls into the water. But he uses this to his advantage. He swims under the ice, comes up near Dax's legs, and attacks him with the arrow. But Dax aims his gun at him. Just then, Ani comes from behind and clamps a bear trap onto Dax's face. Ani pulls Harlan out of the water. They start running again. Drake's team comes across Dax's snowmobile. Dax is lying dead in the ice. Seeing this, his lover Serena goes into shock. Drake steadies her. Now she picks up her gun, ready for revenge. Up ahead, Ani is taking Harlan to a secret spot that not many people know about. But Harlan's condition is getting worse from the cold. Serena opens fire on them. They're leaving trails in the snow, so Ani and Harlan start moving through the water instead. Penn realizes they've taken the water route. After coming out of the water, Ani starts erasing their footprints. But Penn, being a local himself, isn't giving up the chase. He stops everyone in the middle of the forest. This is a sacred medicine wheel. They're in bear country, but no one listens to him. Because of that, Serena steps into a trap. Taking advantage of the moment, Ani and Harlan slip away quietly. They enter a series of large caves. Drake's team won't be able to find them here. Drake's team breaks into a nearby cabin. Serena's leg is injured. They treat her wound. Ani lights a fire to warm Harlan up. She asks him, "Is it true that you're looking for your wife?" Harlan says no. "My wife is dead." Harlan explains that when he was in Afghanistan, they lost their daughter. She died from a lung infection. And when Harlan came home, it was like his wife was already gone. She wouldn't let Harlan touch her. She stopped talking until the house was just silent. Then Harlan turned to alcohol to cope. He doesn't know how long she'd been dead when he found her. Meanwhile, Rhodes himself arrives to join his team. Drake tells him, everything is under control. It's just a game warden and a poacher. Rhodes consoles Serena. Back in the cave, Ani and Harlan are still talking about his wife. Ani tells him, "My people have a cleansing ritual. It helps us mourn our loved ones and then afterward, we move on." This ritual could help Harlan let go of his guilt. But then it's revealed that one of the team members had a separate plan to steal the money. Rhodes figures out it was Ellis. Ellis tries to apologize, but Rhodes kills him with his bare hands. Rhodes says, "Tomorrow we kill the warden, and then the poacher." Meanwhile, as Ani and Harlan are coming out of the cave, someone stops them. A man named Uz calls Ani over. He tells her something. They believe that Harlan dragged his niece out of the community and got her addicted. But Harlan says that's not what happened. "We lost our child." Uz is angry at Harlan over this. Harlan says, "We loved each other." Ani calms them down. "We have to survive these people first." Now, Uz and Ani are from the same community, so he agrees to help. Uz shows them methane gas trapped under the ice, which is highly explosive. They move forward to his ice shanties. Oz taunts Ani, saying she's lost her connection to the land. She's sold herself out by wearing that uniform. But Ani believes she's protecting her land and her people. Harlan walks over to Oz and tells him, "The people chasing us are looking for a plane filled with millions in cash." He says, "I don't want the money, but your tribe could benefit from it." But Oz says, "So you came here to buy us off with money?" A few moments later, the sheriff arrives. He says backup is coming. "Just tell me where the plane is." Headquarters wants to know the location. But Ani never mentioned anything about a plane. The sheriff pulls Ani aside and tells her, "We can make out real good here." The sheriff is getting a 5% cut from those people, which he's willing to split with Ani. When Ani refuses, he pulls out his gun. He orders Ani and Harlan to get in his car. He drives off with them. Meanwhile, Penn stops Drake from lighting a cigarette because there's methane trapped in the lake. From there, Serena spots the sheriff heading toward them. But Harlan, sitting in the car, says, "Sheriff, I can take you straight to the plane. Why do you need their help? Just let us go." Harlan tells him, "I've got a GPS tracker with its coordinates in the backpack." But the moment the sheriff reaches into the bag, his hand gets caught in a bear trap. His entire car flips over. Harlan breaks the window and climbs out. He helps Ani out too. The sheriff is thrown out of the car. As Harlan approaches him, the sheriff starts shooting with the gun still in his hand. Harlan tells him to calm down. But from behind, Serena shoots the sheriff. She walks toward the car. Harlan shoots her with the sheriff's gun. But from behind, Drake shoots Harlan. The bullet doesn't kill him. Rhodes tells Penn to dispose of Ani. But Penn, who was against this from the start, refuses. So Rhodes shoots Penn instead. He starts shooting at Ani too. But Penn throws his lighter onto the methane gas. Fire erupts everywhere. Rhodes burns alive in the flames. Harlan reaches the shore and starts looking for Ani. But Ani is in Drake's grip. Drake says, "Lead me to the plane and you both live." But they can't trust Drake's word. So Drake shoots Ani in her left ear. His next target will be her right ear. But Ani breaks free, and Harlan attacks Drake. Drake is stronger, but from behind, Ani attacks Drake. Harlan runs outside. He sneaks up and attacks Drake from behind. But Harlan gets overpowered again. Ani and Harlan both try to take on Drake together. Harlan shoves a broken oar into Drake's throat. He kicks him into the river. The scene shifts forward in time. Harlan begins preparing for the cleansing ritual of Ani's tribe. During the ritual, he has visions of his wife. Harlan lets her go. Ani learns that the state found the plane. But instead of $20 million, they only recovered $4 million. That means Harlan gave the rest of the money to Oz and his tribe. They used it to build a new community hospital. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end. Let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.